The recent claim that China delivered a surface-to-air missile defense system to Iran has generated significant discussion, scrutiny, and skepticism within the international defense and diplomatic communities. The original story was published by Middle East Eye, citing unnamed Arab officials who alleged that China supplied Iran with advanced air defense capabilities shortly after a regional ceasefire in late June 2025. According to the report, this transfer was allegedly part of an oil-for-weapons agreement and was carried out covertly, avoiding the typical diplomatic and military channels that usually accompany strategic defense transfers. The report did not include any satellite imagery, port shipping data, transport records, or official statements from either government to substantiate the claim. Despite the seriousness of the allegation, namely, that one of the world's major military powers was supplying sophisticated weapons to a state under various international restrictions, there has been no corroboration from any credible defense monitoring organization, major intelligence outlet, or government source. The absence of evidence, coupled with the vague sourcing and reliance on anonymous officials, has raised red flags for many observers who view the story as speculative and potentially driven by regional disinformation or political agendas. The Chinese government reacted swiftly. The Chinese embassy, when contacted by media outlets, issued a strong denial. In a formal statement provided to Israel Hayom, the embassy said, China has not provided weapons to any country currently involved in conflict. The statement continued by affirming that China follows strict international arms export controls and does not support the proliferation of military systems that could contribute to regional instability. The embassy reaffirmed Beijing's adherence to United Nations arms embargoes, international arms trade agreements, and its internal export control laws, which are overseen by the State Administration of Science, Technology and Industry for National Defense (SASTIND). These regulations make it difficult for large-scale weapons transfers, particularly high-visibility assets like air defense systems, to occur outside of formal government channels or without detection. Any such system transfer would require interagency clearance within China, export licenses, and often detailed logistical planning, including ocean transport, unloading at secure ports, and installation with local military units. Such a movement would leave a variety of signatures, including ship tracking records, satellite images of missile components being unloaded, and radar system activations observable by regional military forces and surveillance networks. As of July 2025, no such indicators have been detected by open-source monitoring networks or military intelligence communities. Additionally, China has a track record of maintaining a careful balance in its foreign military cooperation. For over 2 decades, Beijing has exercised restraint in directly providing military hardware to conflict-affected or politically sensitive regions. This approach is not merely a matter of policy but also reflects a strategic calculation. China is increasingly focused on protecting its global trade networks, diplomatic partnerships with multiple powers, and standing within major international bodies. Direct military sales to high-risk states would run counter to Beijing's carefully cultivated image of neutrality and non-interference in external conflicts. The suspected missile system mentioned in speculative analysis is likely the FK-3, an export version of the HQ-22 medium to long-range surface-to-air missile system developed by China's Zhongnan Space Industry. This system has been previously sold to countries such as Serbia, but all such exports have been traceable and often publicly confirmed. For example, the FK-3 system's transfer to Serbia in 2022 involved high-profile coverage, visible airlifts, and post-delivery verification through satellite imagery and official defense announcements. In contrast, the alleged Iran delivery lacks any such verification. Moreover, analysts at defense institutions such as the Institute for the Study of War (ISW), the Soufan Center, and Jane's Intelligence Review have indicated that there is no reliable evidence of the claimed system being deployed or operational in the region. Radar activity, system training, and operational testing typically accompany the arrival of such missile systems and would be picked up by regional surveillance. None of these indicators have been reported. There is also a broader strategic context that further calls the claim into question. China has spent the last decade deepening economic ties with multiple Middle Eastern and Central Asian states, and it has carefully positioned itself as a non-interventionist actor. Selling a strategic air defense platform to a state in an active security zone would risk damaging its relationship with key energy suppliers, trade partners, and members of the UN Security Council. In short, it would be out of character for China to make a high-risk arms transfer of this nature without broader political coordination and strategic payoff, which has not been observed. It is also notable that the original report emerged at a time when regional tensions were already easing following ceasefire negotiations, and media ecosystems were flooded with unverified claims and influence operations. Defense analysts familiar with psychological operations and information warfare suggest that this story may have been designed to test public perception or influence policy debates in third-party countries. By portraying China as a covert military backer, the report may aim to create diplomatic strain or fuel a narrative that paints China as a destabilizing global actor, an image it has worked to avoid. As of now, neither the United States Department of Defense, the European External Action Service, nor any international arms monitoring watchdog has made any formal acknowledgement of such a transfer. The U.S. intelligence community, which closely tracks global arms flows, has not issued public statements or alerts, and no satellite imagery or classified leaks have surfaced to support the idea that such a system has entered Iranian territory. Given the seriousness of the accusation and the total absence of proof, combined with an unusually fast and decisive denial from China, it appears that the report lacks factual foundation. This episode illustrates how rapidly unverified claims can gain traction in the global media environment, especially when they play into broader narratives or geopolitical suspicions. While the suggestion that China has transferred missile defense systems may resonate with certain political expectations or regional suspicions, there is currently no hard data to support it. The Chinese government has denied the report clearly, and all available independent sources show no trace of such a transaction. Until concrete proof, such as shipping records, satellite photos, or military integration data, is presented, the story remains unconfirmed and possibly part of a coordinated disinformation effort rather than a genuine military development.